Welcome back guys to another Dragon Ball Legends video. Today we're going to be breaking down Mr. Ultra Super Saiyan Goku and his abilities, giving you guys everything you need to know to make sure you guys perform at your absolute peak with this Goku, whether you're planning on going into the Legends Championship or if you just want to have some fun in online PvP, we got you covered. With that being said, let's dive into this. This guy does look absolutely insane even from the slight preview that we have gotten, but let's see what he is offering entirely. So he is Yellow Sun Family, Super Saiyan and Frieza Saga, and he is going to be a melee unit. His Ultra ability is Strike Attack and Strike Defense for Frieza Saga and Saiyan. And if you are tagged Saiyan, he's also giving you 5% Ultimate and Awaken damage. That is a very, very good base Z ability as it is. Very broad, obviously, with it being a Saiyan Z ability, and the fact that even his extra bonus is also Saiyan is really insane. His Ultra ability restriction is that... It is per Saiyan battle member. Wow. That is a really good Ultra ability restriction to have. And obviously if you leader him, he can also just get his abilities anyways. But absolutely insane that this guy is being designed to run on a Saiyan team, because that's going to be an absolutely insane comp for him. Now his strike attack does have blast armor. And on hit, every time he lands a strike card, he's reducing the enemy ki by 30. That is a very strong effect to have off the rip, and he has it on his blast card as well. That is going to make it very hard for your opponents to retaliate against you after your combo is done. So very good start to his held arts cards there. Then his blue card is doing massive impact damage, cancels enemy buff effects, so they can go neutral against this. And it also has 40% special move damage, and on hit is nerfing their ki recovery and increasing their arts cost for a pretty good amount of time as well. So you should see that be useful in actual practice as well. Only certain units are immune to it, so it's not too bad. It's an actually pretty decent on-hit effect. I would say it's probably better to have this on-hit effect than just like destroying their ki and cards, to be honest. And then his green card has, wow, it has 15% damage card penetration, which isn't that crazy. It has 40 ki, all enemy health restore minus 50%, and on hit he will draw a card, special move arts twice, and nullify cover changes, and it does also combo. They did say that this is like a long range green card in the video, but here they do specify this is a wide range green card, so it is an AoE green card that they did decide to give this guy, which is going to be very annoying, I feel. And then his ultimate is doing supreme damage, and on activation is giving him 30% of his unique gauge, 50% damage, nullifying endurance, and on hit it does reduce enemy Dragon Balls by 2 while sealing their main abilities. All very good effects so far across the board for this guy. He looks very insane based just on his held arts, and we haven't even gone to his kit yet, man. So they definitely are making a monster right here. His main ability is being able to destroy one card to draw his ultimate. Keep that in mind. That is something that trips up people a lot, is sometimes they'll think that they're just going to draw a card, not destroy one. So keep that in mind, that he is going to be destroying one of your held arts to get this ultimate. And he does also get 30% of his health, 50 ki, and destroys the entire enemy hand. And minus 100 ki. Dude, this guy just doesn't let you retaliate, man. He has so many ways to just stop the enemy from retaliating. His starter ability off the bat, 30% of his unique gauge, 200% damage guard, 300% damage inflicted, 50% ki recovery, card draw, minus 10 to his strike and blast arts cost, and he's nullifying in normal conditions for 60 counts. Oh my god, that is such an insane starting just percentages, man, and he's only gonna build up from there. Then his unique ability is that on entry he gets a card, 40 ki, nullifies cover change, and has protect hand. And even if you bring him on like a defensive kind of situation, he's still gonna lower the enemy's ki by 30 and lower their card draw speed by 1, but it is only for 5 counts, so it's not going to be the most impactful. And then based on his unique gauge consumption, every time he consumes his unique gauge, he's just getting 30% damage guard, which I think is kind of useless. He should have just had damage percentage because his unique gauge is offensive, not defensive. And then he does destroy 2 enemy cards, which again should be more of a defensive mechanic than an offensive one, but his gauge is offensive again. So it's like, I don't know why we have a defensive mechanics on an offensive gauge. But then his second gauge onwards, he is going to be getting endurance penetration and also nullifying element disadvantage, which is going to be very, very strong. On arts hit, he is getting 5% of his unique gauge, 30% damage, and minus sub count, and these effects do reset on switch. The thing with this is that the damage and the unique gauge look like they are effects that will trigger multiple times because they don't specify that they're limited. The sub count on Switch is the one that it does reset on Switch. So theoretically, this guy should have damage stacking and he should be getting 30% damage for every card he lands and also getting his unique gauge, which is very strong effect if that is the case. When an ally is hit by an enemy arts, he is getting a unique gauge buff again, and the next activated special move damage is getting buffed by 20% up to 100. The main thing to notice though is that this is not uncancelable. It it also has a faint chance on it that will go up to 30%, which I think is just completely unnecessary. If you hit this, it's basically GG's. When an enemy attack ends, he does cancel attribute downgrades at abnormal conditions. And then when an ally is defeated by an attack one time, it will activate his KO guard, which is his new mechanic. He essentially just completely saves the person. And on KO guard activation, in general, he will buff the entire team's health restoration by 20%, and he will get 50% of his hit unique gauge. But depending on if the target of the KO guard is himself or an ally, if it's himself, he'll get 70% of his health back. If it's an ally, he'll get 20% of his health and give the whole team 10% health. Either situation, that is an absolutely insane effect, and this is not restricted to any one team. He gets this on any team that is on, which is just absurdity, man. Absolute absurdity. He has a special cover change against blast cards that combos into a blue card as well. And then the last thing to talk about is his unique gauge. His unique gauge is a time type unique gauge, and when it becomes full, he gets 10% health. He gets type neutral defense for 20 counts. He gives allies 15% health and supports allies for 30 counts uncancelable. He also debuffs the enemy. And then on Strike and Blast Art's use when his unique gauge is full, he will go ahead and consume his unique gauge to draw up to 2 cards if he has 3 or less and get 50 key, while also getting 15% stackable damage up to 2 times and getting another level of card draw speed that's uncancelable and also locking in the enemy. Now, the thing that is making this so now this makes sense why his unique gauge destroys enemy cards. His unique gauge giving him damage guard and destroying the enemy cards is very good because what you could use is you could use the unique gauge as a defensive mechanic. When it's about to be full, you bring him in, and then he'll go ahead and disrupt the enemy's combo. And unless you actually use a card, you're not going to be wasting these effects. The other thing too is like even if you're in neutral, you can use the prevent enemy switching in neutral to make the enemy vanish, and then now they're locked in without the ability to vanish, and you force either a 50-50 or get free priority. So overall, this guy looks absolutely busted. I don't know what they're cooking with Frieza, but this guy already looks like a number 1 contender as he is right now. But I mean, Frieza looked insane on paper too, so he might be even better than he is. But as of right now, I would say this guy is probably the best unit in the game. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on him in the comment section below. Stick around if you guys do want to see a updated team and equipment guide for this guy as well. We do have that releasing soon. With that being said, this is Wisen signing out.